I'm sick of y'all in the inbox telling me who I should be friends with. Let me just be very blunt with you. Candace Owens is family to me. She's my friend and she's going to always be my friend. That doesn't mean I agree with her. I don't agree with nothing that she's doing or saying. I don't agree with it. I still love her. She's still my friend. I still pray for her. I still got her back. But at the end of the day, two people that are best friends or good friends can disagree with one another. And I disagree. I don't know how many times I got to say this to you clowns. And then you want me to say her name, say her name. You know exactly who I'm talking about, but you want me to say her name because you want drama.
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what we're about to do. Brandon Tatum is a conflicted individual. And sadly, I think he is going to sacrifice all of his credibility. Well, he has sacrificed all of his credibility at the altar of Candace Owens. And I don't know what the deal is. I have friends that I feel are very close to me as well. But if they were this out of pocket, I would have said something. You wouldn't be asking me to say something about it. I don't get it. I really don't understand. And you can't say that you're just a super friend. If your friend is in sin and you don't call him or her out, do you really care about this friend? If your friend is hurting another friend and you don't call them out, do you really care about them? Do you care about the other friend? I mean, I don't understand why Brandon is doing this, but let's just bring it in. Everybody's seen it. So let me go ahead and add my 2 cents. Let's go.
This Erika, Kirk, and Candace Owens thing has gotten out of control. You know, the sad thing is I don't even know how we got here. I thought that after Charlie Kirk's death, we should have been more united than ever.
We got here because you and Tucker and Megan and countless others refused to say the quiet part, the silent part out loud. Candace Owens is out of pocket. Most of the conspiracies and the foolishness that we're talking about came from Candace or was pushed out by Candace. And she should have been called on the carpet from day one. It should not have gotten this far. Now we're on day, 3 months in, and she's just running amok, doing whatever she wants to do.
Before. We are the most divided that we have ever been in the history of the Republican Party, the history of the conservative movement. It should have never happened. And I'm in the middle of it because I know Turning Point, everybody at Turning Point. I know Candace personally. I know Erika personally. I knew Charlie personally. And it's personal to me. And I got to say something about it. Not that I don't have to, but I'm going to say something about it because I want to put this to bed once and for all. I don't want y'all talking to me about this no more. I ain't bringing it up no more. I'm going to set the record straight right here, then I'm done. Now, we got to show the videos because I just want people to understand the totality of circumstances before I get into this, before I tell you what I feel, and before I start talking about this, that, and the other, before I start getting on people's cases and telling you who I disagree with and who I agree with. I got to play the video. This is Erika Kirk going on Fox News, and this is what she had to say. Broke my doggone heart. I could not imagine what Erika Kirk is going through right now. I just can't imagine. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care if you think she's fake or not. She should be the CEO or not. I don't care what you think about it. At the end of the day, we're talking about a woman who lost her husband, somebody that we all loved, somebody that we believed in, somebody that got their life taken in a gruesome way at 31 years old. Somebody that had kids, somebody that had dreams and aspirations of running a major organization, could have been the president one day. And the wife of that man loses him. And people are coming after her. It's insane to me. I'm sick of y'all in the inbox telling me who I should be friends with. Let me just be very blunt.
Let me real quick. I don't know. Maybe some people are saying you can't be her friend. That's never been my argument. My argument is not that you can't be her friend. Matter of fact, I think because you are her friend, therefore, you should really be calling her out on the carpet. But I'm not saying you can't be her friend anymore. You might make that decision after speaking to her and she goes off the rails on you. You might make the decision after speaking to her and you realize like, yo, she really isn't my friend. She doesn't care about me and my family, my needs. I'm caring about her, but she ain't caring about me. I think that's very interesting. I do think it's also interesting. You've yet to hear Candace Owens talk about Brandon Tatum on her show. She talks about Tucker and Megan and all these other people on X, but she never talks about Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum is taking all this heat for her, and she's made no attempt to say, by the way, thank you to Brandon Tatum, a good brother, and at all, nothing. I wonder why.
With you, Candace Owens is family to me. She's my friend, and she's gonna always be my friend. That doesn't mean I agree with her. I don't agree with nothing that she's doing or saying. I don't agree with it. I still love her.
Why don't you say exactly what it is that you don't agree with? Maybe that's it, because you did say Candace here, so I got to give you respect there. Maybe you should say exactly what you don't agree with. Because a moment ago, you were talking about how much you cared for, love, and all this stuff about Erika Kirk. And now you're saying you don't agree with Candace. Maybe you should say what it is that you don't agree with Candace about. That maybe that would be something that other people would be like, okay, he's a real one. He's genuine. What do you think about that?
She's still my friend. I still pray for her. I still got her back. But at the end of the day, two people that are best friends or good friends can disagree with one another. And I disagree. I don't know how many times I got to say this to you clowns. And then you want me to say her name, say her name. You know exactly who I'm talking about, but you want me to say her name because you want drama. Then you claim you don't want drama. Then you claim you're sad because the drama is happening. Why are y'all bickering back and forth with Charlie Kirk and that? But you want me to blast my friend.
I never said that. I don't care about drama. The drama only shows whether or not the woman is really your friend. So let me just let it be known, let it be said. Go ahead and call her name. If it causes drama, so be it. It is not because of you saying that you're separating yourself from her or her ideas are wrong, or you're saying specifically what it is. If she causes drama, that's on her. Brandon Tatum wants to position himself as being a victim here, as if he's just a neutral party and all these people are trying to push these things on him and all. No, sir. You are just as much a part of this as Candace, as Erika, as anyone else.
Got my back before you start following me. Me and her been friends before I ever was popular, before I ever was famous, before you ever knew anything about me. Half of you clowns, if the rubber hit the road, you will turn your back on me. And I believe that's something that my friend has never done, has never turned her back on me. She disagreed with me and I disagree with her, but she ain't gonna turn her back on me and I'm not gonna turn my back on her.
But she also,
Charlie. How many times do you see?
Charlie's gone. So we're not going to talk about what Charlie did and whatnot, because he's gone. That's a moot point. We're right now in the present. Sir, I'm just gonna ask the question again. Why is Candace not caping for you? Why are you out here loud speaking in a hotel room, showing some weapon grade level of ignorance, and she never talks about you? I just think that's interesting. Maybe you should consider, why is it that your friend that you're going to crash out for doesn't crash out for you? She don't even start the car up for you. Forget crashing out. She don't even start the car. She's still in her bonnets and slides and pajamas at the house while you crashing out on her behalf. I'm just going to leave it alone.
Charlie blast Candace Owens online. That's why I'm sick of y'all, man. It's a double standard. Charlie Kirk never blast Candace Owens online, never said her name. Erika Kirk just got on Fox News and didn't say Candace's name. But y'all crying about me saying her name.
No, the problem is, and we've said this, I've said this, I think Charlie Kirk should have said Candace's name. He should have separated himself from her. I think he should have done that, truth be told.
It's not really about the person, it's about the action. It's about what I believe about the topic. And so for you clowns out here, unfollow me if you got a problem with what I say. Unfollow me if you want me to blast Candace and put a name out there because you want a minute of controversy. When you don't have to live with none of it because you don't know none of these people. But all right, now let's get to the...
How is that your friend, though? Like, how are you being friendly if you won't behave a certain way or do something that you know is right? Now, he has not said that it is not right to call her out. He has not said that it is not right to call her name, put her on blast, disagree with her. So it's clear to see that those things are right. He just doesn't want to do them because of his friendship. So is it fair to say that your friendship is your idol?
Topic here. Candace Owens obviously said some things about Erika Kirk.
What did she say? What did she say specifically?
I don't understand. That's like my biggest principle here, my biggest focal point here, my biggest line of frustration. I just don't understand. I don't understand. And Erika,
what don't you understand? Like, that's a great question. Like, a lot of times people use the word like I'm confused or I don't understand as if that means like the consequences of their actions don't need to happen. I don't know. I'm confused, officer. When you say I was speeding, you say I was doing 85 and a 20. I'm confused. I'm going to jail. Like, it doesn't change anything. So to sit here and say, I don't understand, what do you not understand, sir? What don't you understand? You're a grown man. Let's stop that.
Kirk came out and said some things that made me emotional, because I could only imagine what she's going through in a time like this. And I just do not understand. And people want me to say, Candace ain't the only person that's saying certain things about Turning Point and saying certain things about this controversy and talking about conspiracies. So it's not really about Candace alone. You see the people in her comments.
There we go. So instead of calling out the ringleader, you call out the whole circus. You're saying, well, there's a whole circus. Well, there's a ringleader that's calling the whole circus to play. That's telling the clowns to do this and the fire breathers to do that and the elephants to do this. So it's the ringleader that's running the show. That's Candace. Why are you saying, well, there's a whole circus? Call out the ringleader. You stop the circus.
All of them believe the same thing. All of them are pushing the same message. So let me get to let the main thing be the freaking doggone main thing. I do not understand why anybody would think that Turning Point set up Charlie to kill him. There's no evidence of it. It never has been evidence of it. I've been saying this from the beginning, even before Erika ever said anything about it, even before Turning Point ever tried to defend themselves. I was defending them from the beginning, saying they ain't got nothing to do with this.
But who's saying that, though? Who is saying that Turning Point had anything to do or set up Charlie Kirk for his own deletion? Who is saying that? Maybe you could tell us who's saying it specifically so that we can call those people out specifically. Like, who is Turning Point defending themselves against? So who is it? Maybe that would work. Brandon, you think?
I was defending Terrell, saying he ain't had nothing to do with this. I don't think Andrew and them had anything to do with him getting killed. I think this is a very simple, basic thing. The simple, basic, plain language of it is that there was a leftist lunatic that hated Charlie because he was incredibly effective. They couldn't beat him when they argued, so they killed him. Ineffectiveness from security, ineffectiveness from the police, ineffectiveness from a whole bunch of different angles that led to Charlie Kirk's death. And Charlie Kirk himself did not listen when they told him to go indoors and couldn't be outside. Now, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying this is how this thing happened. Now, Charlie Kirk believed in God and he was going to do what he believed was best, and he died over it. And I think that he can live with that, for lack of better terms. I think Charlie Kirk knew that there was a possibility that he could die. And when you living right and your death is you going to heaven, I don't think it really mattered that much to him, because he knew God was going to cover his family. That's just my opinion about it. But let's talk about the fact that I just don't understand why anybody would pick the battle to go against Erika Kirk, Turning Point USA, and push conspiracies around his death. I just don't understand it. I never will. Now, in all honesty, I haven't talked to Candace about this. And one day, me and her will sit down and I.
So, what do you talk to her about? Because he's said in many instances that he's talked to Candace Owens. So if you're just saying right here that you haven't spoken to her about this, what have y'all been talking about? Whatever, Brandon.
Got to ask her, like, what do you see? What is it that has driven you to feel this way, and to say these things that come across as incredibly hurtful and insensitive? That's one thing that me and her will talk about at some point in time, and face to face, not over the phone, not texting, face to face. And because I don't really know what's going on, right? I just know the things that I've seen, and I put two and two together, and two and two together make up what my philosophy is. And I don't think Turning Point had nothing to do with it. I don't think it's something else Israel had nothing to do with it. I don't think the French had anything to do with it.
Candace Owens has been a kind figure culture cannot avoid. People can disagree with her, they criticize her, they can misunderstand her, but they cannot silence her, and they cannot ignore her. Do y'all know where this came from by any chance? Anybody want to know down in the comment section where this came from? Okay. This is Brandon Tatum's Substack, the infamous Substack that he wrote this week. Before he did this podcast, he wrote this. The game tried to make a statement with a dramatic track title. Instead, he ended up proving the strength of her influence. Candace stays winning because the truth stays with her. And when you stand on truth, it does not matter who takes a shot at you, you rise anyway. She's not just surviving the attention, she's shaping it.
I think it's a leftist lunatic that got brainwashed and became emotionally unstable and decided that the best thing he can do is assassinate Charlie Kirk. And what did he do? He went up on a roof and he assassinated Charlie Kirk, and he got caught. Because he's not a professional assassin, it took them about 48 hours or whatever to catch him. He's in jail right now. His defense attorney is not coming out saying that he's innocent and saying that he was framed and saying there's any controversy. They know better. I saw the affidavit. I saw what they presented to the court. It's damning evidence. And if
it's fun. Okay, well, Brandon, your friend, your sister, who you talked to, but you haven't talked to about this case, says that you are a fool for believing what you just said. Because that's what they call the Fed slop, the original narrative, the Fed narrative, whatever. You are a fool, Brandon. I'm just saying, but you stand with her because truth is on her side. I'm just saying.
If the bullet matches the rifle, which I'm hearing that it does 100%, then it's a open and shut case. And that all of this controversy was for no reason. And the thing is that it's not just the controversy and not just individuals saying stuff, it's the algorithm. When I was coming out and I was disagreeing with Candace, and I didn't throw her name out there because her name and who she is irrelevant to the things that are being said, because she's not the only one saying it. So when I would come out and say these things and say it's wrong to do this and you shouldn't do this and na, everybody in the comment section would eat me alive. How you don't ask questions about Charlie? You really didn't care about Charlie. I'm gonna unfollow you. And then I talked to Candace on the phone about something that I thought she was being honest with me about. And I just mentioned that on my podcast, and everybody eat me up. How you support Candace now? You believe in
because you said that you believed the French assassination plot, but didn't see any evidence. Brandon, you need to be fully. The problem is when it comes to certain things, you're very vague. I talked to Candace about something, and then y'all jumped on me. No, what it was Brandon, you said you believed in the French, Egyptian, Israeli assassination plot with no evidence. And then you said it initially that you saw evidence. When people called you on the carpet, you said, "Oh, well, hold on. I didn't see any evidence."
And I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all the same ones that killed me when I said I disagree with her. And then now this one topic, I say, well, dang, she came to me this way. And I felt very compelled that she was actually telling me the truth about what she told me.
With no evidence
Eviscerate.
Again.
She has this thing with the game. And I'm just talking specifically about the game and the anomaly of her with celebrities. I'm not even talking about Erika. I'm not even talking about Turning Point. I'm not talking about Conspiracies. I'm not talking about Charlie Kirk. It had nothing to do with none of that. I'm talking about her in the mainstream with celebrities. And y'all fools out here mad at me for it. So I think it's the algorithm. Tim Pool came out and just completely blasted Candace. And he got so much hate in his comment section. So to me, you getting tricked by the algorithm as well. They're pushing this, they're pushing that, and they tricking y'all, making y'all argue. And you looking at this person and pointing at this person, talking about this person, yet we getting played. And y'all falling for it. I thought that what.
So the villain of the story, the real villain is the algorithm. The real villain is the algorithm. The algorithm is the culprit, is the great supervillain, the great mastermind of this whole thing is the algorithm. Okay.
Erika Kirk said on her, on the Fox News interview, I agree, man. It's terrible. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for Charlie. Like everything that Charlie pushed for, people are against. Some people are against. Everything he pushed for, they're against. It seems that they're against. Charlie Kirk was big on voting. Charlie Kirk was a big Trump supporter. Charlie Kirk never interviewed Nick Fuentes. He despised Nick Fuentes. Charlie Kirk wanted Turning Point to be the biggest organization to ever exist. Charlie Kirk loved his wife. He wanted his wife to be in a position his wife is in. Now, if you don't like Charlie Kirk, then that's fine. Then you could argue about everything that he believes, then you could want to tear it down. But if you claim that you love Charlie Kirk and you knew Charlie Kirk and you were a fan of Charlie Kirk or whatever the case may be, why would you tear down everything that Charlie Kirk built? Turning Point USA should be off limits. You should never talk about Turning unless you have unequivocal evidence. You shouldn't push conspiracies about things unless you have unequivocal evidence, because you being wrong is going to hurt people. You being wrong will get you sued. You being wrong, you will lose your reputation.
Who's doing it, Brandon? Come on, man. This is just silly. That's why people don't trust you anymore. They don't see you as being credible or somebody who holds up a standard, because, sir, you're literally saying stuff that Candace is doing, and they're just saying they want you, because we see Candace as the main culprit pushing out these false narratives, these conspiracies that you literally said hurt people. We see her doing it primarily. No, she's not the only one, but she is the primary one that has really taken up the mantle. And you won't call her out, but you want to be perceived as being noble for not doing that. And we're saying, no, you're not. This is crazy work, man. This is nasty work.
And I don't think that there's any evidence so ever. I would never say anything about Turning Point like that.
Then why would you let your
And
friend
keep
do
it
that?
real? Just like my loyalty to Candace and loyalty to like Turning Point don't do everything right, man. But I'm not gonna be out here blasting Turning Point. There's gonna have to be a specific, dire need for me to address the Turning Point situation. It has to be a dire need for me to come out and blast Turning Point. Even if I knew Turning Point had made a mistake here, and here, I'm not gonna blast Turning Point. Just not gonna do it. Even if Erika Kirk wasn't perfect and this, and that, I'm not gonna blast Erika. I may talk about concept, I'm gonna blast Erika. Just like Charlie Kirk, I had disagreements with Charlie Kirk. Me and him had some things, some theological things we disagreed on. Who cares? I'm not gonna blast Charlie Kirk online because I disagree with one or two things he did.
That's not what we're asking you to do.
If I found out Charlie Kirk had did something, I'll come to Charlie Kirk personally. I'm not gonna blast him online. That's just the loyalty that I have to certain people that I'm really friends with in real life. Same thing with Candace. Candace didn't do stuff that I don't agree with, but I'm not gonna blast her and try to and cuss her out and call her a B online.
Who's doing that?
It's not gonna happen.
Nobody asked you to do that, Brandon. No, nobody's asked you to do that. It would actually be bad form for you to do that. Cursing her out, using profanity, calling her names like that, that would be bad form. Nobody's asked you to do that. I feel very confident nobody has asked you to use profanity toward Candace or to, quote unquote, cuss her out. So why did you even say that? It's just silly. It'll last a few seconds.
But I can disagree with the things she say. And it's troubling to me to see the fallout. It's troubling to me. And I just had to get this off my chest. I just had to get it off my chest.
Okay, well, I'm glad you got it off your chest, Brandon. I'm glad you got it off your chest. Hopefully you feel better and whatnot like that. But, sir, it really, at the end of the day, we've kind of like given up on you. We thought that you were going to be a voice of sound reason for her because of your relationship with Candace. But, hey, you say that you love Turning Point. You say you love Erika Kirk. You care about the people at TPUSA. But you allow your friend that you also love and care for to malign and cast doubt and sow division and sow false narratives about the other friends that you say you have. Okay. I guess that's how it works, man. I don't know another way to work it out. I mean, thank you so much for letting us know, Brandon. But I feel very comfortable to say that, yeah, you've lost a lot of support and a lot of respect that people had for you. And, hey, it is what it is. I don't think that my channel is going to make that big of an earth-shattering difference in your life. But I do pray that you reconsider your positioning and start holding solid, true to form positions. I mean, even for crying out loud, Candace is tearing down everything related to the conservative party and the conservative movement. How are you okay with that? Why are you okay with that? But you know, it is what it is, man. Y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us. If you don't mind, please make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. Make sure you hit the like button, share, and all that kind of good stuff. And thank you for helping us hit our goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of April. Until next time, everybody, grace and peace. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.